Welcome back to the back nine of the 2021 Des Moines Challenge for round 2. We've seen exactly what this course is supposed to provide, with some struggles off of the tee and some struggles on the putting greens. Such a fun front nine and course to watch. Happy to be here. Nathan Queen with Chandler Fry.
Hello, and we are 3 holes after the lightning delay on hole 8, and we're looking at Paul and Ben going birdie to start the day, and Silas and Zach kind of struggling but looking to get back on it.
Yeah, and pretty good hole to get back on it here, hole 10. Fairly easy birdie. You're going to see a bunch of hyzers not go through this gap off of the tee pad. I do take this gap, though, so I appreciate the flight. Hyzer's up to about this point, but further right, and then you're going to see another hyzer to the right of this tree that the drone is flying past now. There are opportunities to eagle now that the course has been played a bit more. People know what lines to take. If you get far enough off the tee, there's a couple different options.
I feel like the toughest shot in this hole is the second shot, because it's very easy to leak left with that hyzer because you can't see exactly where you're throwing.
Yeah, and that tree line on the left is OB, as well as this grass on the right.
This has good speed, good height, definitely not going out of bounds. That's about all you can ask for right there. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's a good spot there to get down to the bottom of the hill and have an easy approach.
I'm not sure if anyone out there has the same issue as me, but I cannot play in baggy raincoats. I feel like it's a skill. It's a learned skill.
Yeah, and Ben getting it flat, getting to the top of the hill. Or just about to the top of the hill.
I believe the rain has stopped at this point.
Yeah, it was only about a minute and a half, just enough time to open an umbrella, cover your bag up.
Just get a little wet.
And then take it all back off again.
70 miles per hour. That is a fast throw. That's got to miss that tree.
Yeah, and he's pulled it a bit too wide. And he's going to be out of bounds early here. So throwing 3.
Still a very savable par, but you got to think he was looking for that eagle play by putting that much power on that shot.
He's got to get past this tree. And he does get past it, so he'll have a way into the green. But it's further away than most people have practice from, because you get past that into the majority of the time, and he'll be throwing his 4th shot from there.
Hopefully there's no right to left wind out there, because that would push the disc a little far left. I think that's fine. Good roll as well. Beautiful shot, right exactly in the middle of the fairway in the landing zone.
And this needs to sit down. It's pushing left, and it has found that OB left side. It's not what you want, but there is still an opportunity to save the par from over there.
What do you think Ben is doing here?
It doesn't look like he's laying up.
It looks like he is attacking the green. Does it have the height?
He's gone out over OB the entire time.
Oh, wow.
Comes back inside the trees and has about a 15-foot putt for the eagle on this
beautiful
blind 844-foot par 5. We haven't seen anybody else attack this green yet, and he's just done it perfectly.
Beautiful upshot from Silas there. Going to save the par even with the OB stroke. This hole is playing more like a par 4 than a par 5, but still a decent par save.
And I think his shot to the top of that hill is around 400 feet. Such a massive hyzer into the green from there for Ben.
Huge. That guy throws so far.
Just incredible. Paul may try to throw this in now, see if he can get his own eagle.
There's not much danger with the run here. There's a hill behind it.
It's definitely a run.
Yep. Not as committed as he would have liked, but dropping birdie.
You see him give a little grin there, knowing he wanted it.
Yep. Good catch by the basket. Decent par save from Zach there. You can see even with troubles on one of the throws with OBs, people are still saving pars.
So this eagle here is going to tie Ben for the lead with Paul.
Was that the only eagle on the day? I believe it was. I'm not entirely sure. I apologize if I'm wrong here, but impressive stuff from Ben. You can see he's making moves.
Yeah, and Paul getting the birdie that you're supposed to get there. Ben just making it.
And Ben was the solo eagle.
Yeah, that was just incredible.
He was the solo eagle on this hole. So
watch the slow-mo of this massive hyzer he throws over top of these trees.
So pretty.
Such clean form, such great follow-through.
Holding that form. Beautiful.
And moving into hole 11, we've got a new flow on the hole. They've fixed a bit of a backup problem that we had the first day, which again, they've done so much work out here, and they even know how to alleviate some backups. Having the card in front of us spot for the card on the tee before they throw their second shots. Most of the righties have now gone to a large righty hyzer to try to get to around this area, which is still a pretty tight green to land in. You have to have a very specific hyzer and know exactly where your disc is going to go to land in a good spot. Otherwise, you'll be pitching out and trying to save a par.
Funny thing about this hole is you can't see the basket until you're about like 120 feet away. And also, this is a par 4. Previous hole is a par 5, both averaging 4.6. So this hole playing much more like a par 5 than the actual par 5 previously. Oh, wow.
Oh, and this is pretty sawed off. He gets a green flag making the Mando, but is in the woods.
At first I thought he was going to miss the Mando, but it is the left side of that tree.
Yeah, it's about as far left as you can get on that tree. So,
this looks like a better line from Paul.
Oh, yeah. And that's where you want to be. He gets a bounce to the right side, which opens it up even more. He'll be able to throw a flat, controlled shot rather than a hyzer into the green, which is a better landing with the slope that it's on.
Zach looking to match Paul. It looks like he did.
Yeah,
nice
spikes right in. He'll have a little bit more of a hyzer, but still a great spot to approach this green. And Silas has stood this up and turned it over. This is going to be further into the woods long than I think we've seen yet.
There is a creek back there. It goes down pretty fast at that point. Looks like he didn't make it all the way to the creek, so he does have a pretty decent out. But still, the best he's looking at is probably going to be a par. That's not an easy third shot either.
Yeah, he's still 360 or so, maybe a little bit less to the green from here. But again, like you said, you can't see the pin. You can see where you want to throw over the hill and where you think it's at, but it's still really hard to place it. It's easy to push long if you're just trying to do a max distance shot to get over there.
That is beautiful. This is such a hard shot to execute. A fully committed flat to hyzer shot through a tiny gap.
Oh, and he's almost done it, but he did push slightly long. He's going to have more of an obstructed putt.
But the fact that he has a putt is pretty impressive.
Yeah, but he does have a putt to save par on this very difficult hole. Ben didn't look like he was quite able to get out into a great spot. We know he's got all the power, so he may be able to throw high enough and hyzer enough to get one there.
This might look sawed off, but honestly, the shots I saw park the hole looked way too left.
Yeah, he caught that branch that was hanging out. Otherwise, it would have made it over top of that hill. Having to go forehand roller here. Oh.
Yep.
Just pitching out, not trying to do anything too crazy, which is smart.
It's a veteran play, kind of taking his medicine, moving on to the next hole. He just got the eagle, so kind of stinks that he's getting the bogey on this hole, most likely. But can't be too upset.
And Paul with that slower disc, flattening it out a little bit.
Wow.
Absolutely parks it.
You can't see the hole from there.
No.
He probably walked up and looked at it, but that is a very impressive shot.
And you can see the camera here up higher than Ben can just barely see that flag. So Ben probably can't see that flag from where he's at.
And I feel like this is the mistake that a lot of players made where they just pushed it a little bit too long.
Yeah, you don't want to hit that hill right in front of you, so you put a little extra on it.
Zach looking to cash this. Fantastic circle 2, circle 3, circle 4 putter. You can see from that distance he's still giving it a run. Good height. That's got to sit down, though.
Yeah, stays in circle 1. He'll have a bit of a tester. And this would be another highlight par save if Silas can make this putt.
This would be dirty. He gets a little bit of metal on that one. Not as right as he intended. Looks like Ben's not really dealing with any wind here, so it's just a standard 25, 30-foot putt.
Yeah, needs to make this for the bogey.
Not a bad bogey from where he was. We saw some big scores on this hole.
Yeah, he was really deep into the woods off of the tee. This is still playing as, I think, the hardest hole on the course again this round.
Yeah, averaging .6 over par, so causing a lot of grief for a lot of players. You feel really good picking up that birdie, but we only saw 9% of the field birdie this hole.
Paul being one of them.
Of course.
With just a tap in, didn't even have to worry about it.
The guy's pretty good. Nice and high committed putt from Zach there.
Yeah, full intensity getting the par. Moving into hole 12, a 260-foot downhill par 3 with a double mando you have to make it through. As soon as you make it through this double mando, there's a creek down at the bottom that plays OB as well. Across that walking path, the creek continues. Any OB or missed mando shot plays from a drop zone that you will get a 4 from unless you have a throw in.
The common play on this one is just going to be a mid-range right down the middle, hit that hill hard, or a sidearm play that we're probably going to see from Zachariah.
Yeah, and Paul, as we saw the first round, is stepping up from a mid-range to a fairway, just trying to make sure he throws something fast enough to stay above those rocks. Right after those rocks, there's a small hill there that can just kind of grab, and that's what Paul hit, keeps him in a great spot. Zach going pretty quick there with the Firebird, skips on past and will have a putt, but he's back in the woods just a bit.
That's a tough putt from there. He is right up against that wood line. Not a lot of space to move. And one thing of note is that this tee pad, they fixed it pretty well, but it was very slippery. So that was causing some trouble for some players, making them miss the gap, because this hole is all about accuracy. And without proper footing, that makes it quite difficult. So it looks a little high. But
yeah, those branches up there are super mean. It looks like he may have still stayed in bounds.
96 feet from the pin, looking to pitch up.
Oh, wow, what a great touch shot out of the woods there.
Very nice.
Branches all in his swing, still able to get out. Zach trying to capitalize on a birdie putt.
Looks like he didn't have enough room to really get his legs involved there, so he had to go all arm, and that caused the misrelease a little.
Ben, after a good shot off the tee.
There we go.
Able to get the bounce back stat up.
Yep.
Coming back after that bogey on 11. Which once you don't, like we were saying, once you get that tee shot bad on that last hole, then bogey's really the best you can do.
And going eagle, bogey, birdie, you're still 2 down for the last 3 holes. It's not bad.
Good comeback there from Zach. Had a little more room for his normal swing. And Paul looking for his 5th in a row, I believe.
Did you see his skip once his disc hit the bark? It went, instead of going forward with that power that he had, it went straight left. So I think he could have been parked, but the bark chips had a different plan for him.
A slight little incline right there that could have just kind of stopped all the force that the disc had.
Mm-hmm.
But no casualties here as far as OB. Couple birdies, couple pars. Ben with the full extension, great putt. high center chains.
Right to the bottom of the bucket.
With the fist pump, too. Knows he needed it.
When I walk up to the tee, I have these game plans. I think I'm going to land in these same areas every single time, but you never know. Having the Bushnell rangefinder, no matter where I land, gives me that extra level of confidence.
I started playing disc golf with my family when I was 8 years old. When I was 16, I got my first job as a cook at a bowling alley, and that's when I made my first batch of beef jerky. As I got better at throwing, I also got better at making beef jerky. Everyone told me they loved my jerky. After 15 years of making my beef jerky as a hobby, I decided to make it available to everyone. Double G Craft Jerky. Give it a try. You're gonna love it.
And after a double mando par 3, we move into another par 3 that you really want to get the birdie on. Not a double mando, but you do want to go in between two specific things, this tree and the wood line there, and then move off to the right. As long as you make it past that corner, it's pretty hard to go right into the woods. And that last clump you saw on the left does play as OB.
This is the second easiest hole on the course. Really, the only dangers are if you saw it off to the right or find that, as you just mentioned, the tree clump on the left.
And
he hit the iron branch, or iron leaf.
Yeah, that lift pulled him right into those branches. I was about to say I think it helped it hyzer in time, but then it caught those branches and knocked it down. He'll be able to see the basket, but it's a pretty long look from there.
I like this play, a little backhand turnover play. That looks a little high as well, but it gets through.
This is fantastic. Oh, it did get turned over just a bit much to park it, but he is inside the circle. I thought he was going to hit the base on that one.
That's got to make it through the branches. Great shot from Zach there. Another play that I saw a couple times on the course was the grenade. It looks like we're not seeing that today on this hole. That's always a fun shot to watch.
And this looks great.
Got the little branch there, should be about 15 feet. Paul is looking to make this. This is a hole you do not want to miss.
Yeah, and we saw him miss it the first round too, having to scramble out of the woods. One of the easier holes. You know he expects to get it.
And especially from that distance on that elevated basket, that is a hard putt to commit to, because if you do miss, you could find the tree line or the woods on behind it. Ben's putting stroke is looking good right now.
Ben capitalizing and taking a stroke back to get back within one.
When this guy's putt is on, he can compete with the best in the world, because he is one of the best in the world. Once again, the pride of Iowa right there. This guy is good. And here's Silas from Louisiana, not from Iowa. Looking to get that birdie. Oh.
And just off to the left side.
I think he has those lead card jitters.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe starting to catch a little bit of nerves.
Which is fair.
Yeah, if you're not used to cameras being around or just more people being around in general, it can be very nerve-wracking.
Even just playing with Paul McBeth. The guy's a legend. That was scary. It's in the bucket, though.
Yeah, got his 3.
Scorecard does not have pictures. Or video. Clean release. Look at that extension. Look at that foot. The power involved in that putt is just perfect.
Just every one of his putts hits on the pole.
He knows what they mean. Because he knows that's a stroke on Paul. That's a big deal.
And here's another chance to try to gain a stroke. 606 feet, par 4. You see some mid-range stand-up shots down this right gap. There's also off to the left. A little easier to control the landing, throw a hyzer shot, or a sidearm hyzer shot just before that creek there. And then have a fairly easy approach into this green. It can be a little tricky if you like to run up. It is a downhill green, so you have to make sure that you get your plant and release timing right, or utilize a standstill so that you don't pull it off or let go a little early is what I see the most.
I think if you want the perfect landing zone on this hole, backhand is definitely the way to go. Maybe that's great.
Yep, here you go. Ben showing you what we mean. He's far enough down. He should be able to throw a standstill. No issue there.
And that's getting farther than all the sidearms you're going to see, I'm guessing. Because it's able to penetrate a little farther down the fairway, get that skip left towards the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, and Zach got that a little high, I think, but he still stayed in the fairway, so he'll have a little further into the green, but still able to attack. This looks more ideal as far as the hyzer line you want until all of that ground play. Still has a chance for the green, but maybe a little bit pinched off.
And I know Paul has a world-class sidearm, but I'm still surprised he's not going down the right side to try to get a little bit farther up, get that second shot a little easier. He's still in a fine position, but I'm surprised he's not throwing a buzz or something along those lines down the middle.
Yeah, I think somebody with Paul's power throwing a buzz down the middle, he could still push that OB creek, and he maybe just doesn't want to bring the OB into play at all.
That was a laser beam. I think it hit a branch late, but that was beautiful. A beautiful shot from Silas.
Oh, and here we go. Taking the gap out of play. Big tomahawk over the top. And coming up a little short, but we'll have a long look at it. He's clean and safe over the OB.
About 300 from the pin here. He's looking to hit that hill hard and potentially get a skip. He's not doing the forehand.
He's going to throw a sidearm, keeps the same disc in his hand, and switches to a backhand.
That was a fast transition from sidearm to backhand.
And I believe that's the disc he was throwing on 12, so I think he was thinking backhand, checked out the sidearm, decided against it, went backhand again.
Ben in ideal position. That looks a little high. If he gets lucky, he can get through.
Oh, and just playing it through the high branches there, gets up in the circle.
And there is OB on the right side right there where he was throwing, so a bit of bad luck can put you in a pretty bad spot, but looks like, oh, that was close.
And a great run over that low branch that kind of guards this green. Almost still able to get the birdie.
And this is the fifth easiest hole on the course, averaging a .19 under par. Beautiful putt.
Yeah, great birdie there from Paul. None of the holes out here really averaging more than a half stroke under par, proving how great of a course this is. You never really want more than a half stroke under par for sure. And they've done that well. I really enjoy playing this course. Happy to be a part of it.
I love this place. I can't wait to come back next year. Ben picking up that birdie, even with a little mistake on the second shot, still able to capitalize on the opportunity.
And Silas from way back, he caught a tree early off of the tee and just laces a second shot down there.
I feel like that second shot had a chance of going in. It was going right at the bucket.
Yeah, he was probably at least 330 away.
Yeah, so 3 birdies, 1 par. Not a bad 3 down for a card is not bad at all on this hole. No one really found any trouble.
And again, Paul putting so well in the circle today. Just getting that stroke back, making sure that he has his chance to take the victory. Moving into hole 15, a little tougher than the last hole. You've got to get around this first corner, throw it high enough to get to the top of this hill. Even if you just get barely past this tree that the drone is passing on the left, then you have a chance to get the birdie, but it seems very hard to get your disc to land on this green without going into the wood line. I've seen so many shots just drift all the way from this OB signs you see on the right side all the way over into the woods on the left. Very difficult green to approach.
You can see that gap in the fence right there. I saw one Eric Oakley lace a beautiful upshot and go right through that gap and find himself out of bounds.
Oh, no.
It was a very unfortunate situation. There is OB long off this drive. You're not going to see a lot of players challenge that because they're just looking to get around the tree that we saw on the flyby.
Oh, but Ben hits it. It looks like he floated back out. And is inbounds in a pretty good spot, depending on those low branches we saw above him.
This
Paul,
has great angle for the
yeah,
skip.
doing the same thing that he did the first day, not messing with the OB on the right and just going underneath that tree, which is such a hard shot because it's so easy to hit the ground early if you're trying to go underneath that tree.
I'm liking the power on this shot. It looks like it got around the tree with a skip, just barely past Ben. Beautiful shot from Silas. Should have a fairly approachable second shot on the hole. It's a little sawed off there, but
This
it
is
has
that
the
inside
power.
line, but yeah, it stood up, kind of catches those branches a little bit, which I don't believe hurt or helped. He's just kind of
Yeah.
10 feet from where he would have been. And this is looking left side. It might catch. Okay, he's made it past the first corner, but he's in there on the left side, going to be looking to pitch out for a par.
Same distance for Paul. A lot of these upshots you're going to see are going to skip hard left. You want to hit the green with a flat angle so the disc stays.
Yeah, and this is looking like it'll flare off into the woods as well. He gets some really good ground play there. Stays towards the edge, but still has some limbs in the way.
I'm liking the angle on this one. He's
Yeah.
testing the right side OB, but this is what you want to
That's
do.
absolutely what you have to do, and it's so hard to commit to that.
It really is.
But Ben does it well with a mid-range,
Beautiful shot.
showing why the extra distance that he got helps out so much. This looks higher than you want.
If that settles, it was a slower disc it looks like, but it still got that skip and it finds the left side greenery.
Wow. And
What a
Zach,
good line.
from what looked like no lie towards the basket at all, able to hit chains and almost capitalize on the birdie. Paul to a knee, gonna try to sneak through these limbs here.
Probably about circle's edge.
And just on fire on the putting green. He is making sure he corrects on mistakes made yesterday, putting it behind him, and just putting it in the basket.
Would you say the McBeast mode has been activated?
He's taken the lead from 2 down and is looking to stamp that and continue to go forward. I would say he is on the way there.
Paul doing Paul things. Silas just a little right. You can see the anger right there. His round is not going the way he intends, but getting the comebacker. Finished strong.
Yeah, after the hot start he had, he was looking to continue that. Not playing bad, still under par, but needs to get a few birdies to feel better going into the third round.
And you have to think, with that lightning delay and the play being suspended on Saturday, he had to not only sleep on the lead one night, but 2 nights. That can't be easy.
Nor is this putt. That's exactly the gap he wanted to hit. He was looking exactly at that. And just love these slow-mos. Thank you, Central Coast.
You've seen them in the hands of professionals, helping them compete at the highest level. Whale Sacks is a female-owned small business, handmade in the USA. We are dedicated to outstanding grip for all disc golfers.
Out here in this humid climate, whale sacks are a necessity. Go get yourself one of those.
Yeah, and on hole 16, you'll find a bit of that humidity down on the green once you get off of the top of this hill. You get a little bit stickier down there. You want to throw a hyzer to go just inside of this tree you see on the right, somehow miss this tree in the middle, and then don't push further right to catch those trees on the right side. Then if you've done all that, stop. Or else you will go OB behind this basket, as we saw a few putts go in the first round. Pretty tough hole.
This is a treacherous green, probably the most treacherous green on the course, because you can't really see it from the tee pad at all. And then any approach, if you throw your drive short, any approach is somewhat terrifying. That's going to be a scary approach.
Yeah, and that's a putt I've seen some players try to run. It doesn't usually work out well. We'll see what Ben decides to do there.
I believe we saw Paul run that putt from the first round, and he went out of bounds under the bridge. Remember that?
I do.
That was painful.
And Paul is going to be off into the left side, probably less likely to have a chance to run his putt, but we do know he's aggressive.
This is too wide. And that has found the OB. It looks like he does have a decent par putt, but he is directly staring at the OB on the other side of the basket. I think the majority of shots that people are throwing are ending up left, kind of where Zach's going right here. Oh, sit.
And pretty unfortunate ground play there. He had skipped up to about circle's edge and kind of looked like it was going to scoot closer and rolls a bit backwards to the right, maybe bringing that tree into play and also making it a scarier putt. Paul, remembering that bridge, wants nothing to do with it.
One thing of note with Zach's shot is he has found the muddiest part of the fairway, so footing might be an issue for him. He might be a little slippery right there.
This is interesting for Ben here. He just watched Paul lay up and knows he can get a stroke to tie, but being the smart player that he is, decides not to try to tie, knows he's still got a full round plus left to try to catch the lead.
I'd say in his situation that was a fantastic play. Maybe third round if he needs it, he can go for it.
Oh, Zach.
That hurts.
Wanting to make a push.
Centimeters away from being a fantastic putt. Still a good effort.
And Silas is going to go ahead and add to the overstrokes on this hole. This is one of the reasons why this hole plays at even par rather than under par.
Yeah.
Very easy to bogey or double bogey.
Averaging par. Yeah, exactly par. That's what you just said.
So no birdies here this time. We saw a couple smart layups. I thought they might tap in together for a moment there.
Little team discraft bonding experience. Surprising not to see any birdies on that hole, but it's just showing the teeth that hole has. I was hoping Zach would get it with that putt. But
yeah, that was
a little short.
Scary putt to run. Did it well and didn't quite capitalize on it.
You can see that whale sack in Zach's left hand there, keeping his hands nice and dry for the...
Yeah, so one par 3 that plays exactly par, moving into a next par 3 that's a little shorter, but visible, playing at 2.9, so just under par. But such a different hole, slightly uphill, about 50 or 60 feet shorter, and a pretty tight gap to hit.
Accuracy is paramount on this hole. Anything left or right is going to hit a tree. If you hit right, you have the potential of launching into Narnia, into the abyss, except for maybe you might get that.
Yeah, that right side is no fun. There are not gaps. Yeah. The further you go in, it does not clear out. That is not where you want to be at.
Even left side short, you can find yourself in some pretty precarious situations where there's multiple trees in the way. This is looking fantastic. Great shot from Paul.
Oh, yeah, up on the wood chips inside the circle, 25 feet or so.
I like this play. Just hit that gap with the Anheuser with something stable, have it flex out.
Oh, no.
He has found himself in a...
yeah, there's ways to get out, I guess, but you have to...
There we go,
You
Silas.
have to do it just right.
Good committed shot from Silas there. Should have a pretty easy birdie putt. Oh, wow.
Oh, and getting the shout out to Tree Love again there. Absolutely shanking that over. I'll go ahead and say that was a bad shot.
Local love right there.
And he catches that tree, corrects all of it. Zach got way far up there through the woods and is able to just kind of have a jump up out.
Lucky.
Yeah, that was pretty fortunate to be that far up. It looked like he kicked in earlier than that.
Paul is just on fire right now, adding to his lead with another birdie. This guy's pretty good. Silas looking to get that birdie and kind of get back on track after a few unfortunate holes.
Yeah, that double bogey on the last hole really hurt. That putt there puts him back to even for the round after shooting the hot round the first round. He'll be looking to kind of settle in and see if he can get attacking again during this last round.
Yeah. Nice par pickup from Zach there. I feel like the only way Ben could rationalize that second shot was if he called it.
Yeah, he'll be happy to get that par.
Yeah.
A good par putt, or birdie putt, excuse me, there from Silas. Able to get that bounce back after a rough hole 16. Moving on to what is the second hardest hole on the course for the second day in a row, playing almost a half stroke over par, 1,080 feet, and super far uphill to start off. It's hard to get to the top of this hill. This is probably right now the ideal landing zone so that you can throw a second shot up and around this tree and this next bush that you see and have about 300 or 320 into a fairly tight green with some wind in play as well.
Yeah, OB along the entire left side of this fairway, and trees on the entire right side of the fairway. So accuracy, once again, just like 17, is super important. You just want to keep it controlled, keep it in the fairway, and you should have a chance at a birdie.
Yeah, if you can execute your first two shots, then you'll have the best chance. If one of those first two shots is off, then you most likely won't have a good approach into the green to have a putt for the birdie.
If I remember correctly, the tee pad was slightly slippery, so it might be causing some issues for some of these players.
Yeah, it's a little uphill as well. The tee pad, yeah. I mean, I know the hole is.
That's a nice position. 380 feet, straight uphill from Silas, a good bomb.
Yeah, 380 up the hill probably means about 410 feet of power.
That was a high release, but Ben's looking to launch this one. Just got to get over that tree.
And there it is, just in front of it.
Not a bad position to be in. He does have a low ceiling, I'm guessing, with those branches, but he should have a pretty accessible second shot to a good landing zone. This looks a little right.
This is turned over.
That's great.
But it does hyzer out, and he is in a great spot.
Zach's showing off his backhand abilities. He's known for his forehand, but the guy's got game in all aspects.
And this looks pretty good out of Paul. It needs to push far enough to get away from that bush there.
That's a mean bush. That's ruining a lot of people's hole 18s.
And Ben with just enough room to pull out a huge hyzer.
Get out.
And catches some stuff late, but he's pretty far up there and should have 400 feet or so into the green.
The green very attackable from there, but a bit longer than I think he would have liked.
Yeah, you're not used to having an upshot that far away.
That's an interesting play. I was expecting more of a backhand, low shot to the right, but he goes overhand.
Yeah, he's in a similar spot to Ben.
He's got that power forehand, though, so he should have a flex shot to the green. It looks like Silas is trying to chew off a whole lot of distance.
This is getting super aggressive, throwing a big ante over top of the OB the entire way.
Past that bush, should have a pretty easy up and down. Not the easiest approach, but definitely where you want to be.
Yeah, he's done well to get to that spot. And going to try to get under par for the round.
Does that have the stability?
Oh, it's coming back.
Oh, it's almost too stable. That's a good play, though, because worst case scenario, you're probably going to get a par. Best case, you're going to be by the basket. Good play by Zach. Good veteran move.
Yeah, it looks like he may have stayed on the edge and could have a little straddle out putt there.
Oh, clean release from Ben here. Come on back.
Oh, this looks fantastic.
Probably about a 25-foot putt, maybe a little longer than that. Fantastic shot from Ben, looking to close his round out with a pretty solid birdie.
And Paul able to work something. This needs to stop. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's touched that out very well. Knew that tree I thought he was about to go in was in place, so didn't even give it enough power to get there. And a very common approach shot for him. He'll be able to put it up there and get a par.
And this hole averaging almost nearly half a stroke over par, so it definitely is not the easiest pickup to get. So birdie is getting, as I said before, strokes on folks.
And Silas put it to circle's edge there. I'm sure he was wanting to get a little bit closer to try to have a less stressful putt to finish his round. Paul as well, leaving it a bit short, but he's been putting well today, or this round. I guess it's been 2 days. but he's been putting well this round.
Good attempt there from Zach. Not the easiest of putts with that tree in his face. But he'll be closing out his round with a decent par.
Ben for birdie to get within one.
Yes. For Iowa. There we go, Ben. Way to finish the round. Fantastic round from Ben, actually.
Yeah, finishes strong with a birdie on 18 to get within one of the lead. Will maintain lead card for the final round. Showing why he's out here, and Silas just not quite able to connect today. Not quite what he was looking for.
Yep. There you go, Paul.
And Paul getting the par.
Maintaining the lead going into the final round, which happens to be the same day.
Yeah, once these guys finish today, they have, depending on their new tee time, lead card will have about 3.5 or 4 hours, maybe a little more, before they start their second round.
The putting from Ben today was just fun to watch. The commitment, the execution, beautiful.
And what a great way to finish the round with the Circle's Edge birdie putt. Just super smooth. Really fun to watch these guys today. Happy to be here to commentate for you guys. Paul McBeth taking the lead after 2 rounds by 1 stroke. Gavin Rathbun, Ben Callaway, and Raven Newsom will be joining him for the final round.
This is going to be a good final card.
And here we are with the double G jerky long drive of the round. We've got Ben Callaway throwing, this had to be 570 feet of power to get over top of all those trees and around.
To put it that close is just so amazing.
So great shot for him. Again, thank you guys for being here. Make sure you subscribe to Central Coast, and we look forward to seeing you for the 3rd and final round.